And we're live. Welcome back to Me with the Red Mic, talking about college football. Let's just take a moment and drink in the fact that ball is back. And also, the first time that you guys are seeing me without a hat on in about a month. Because, when you go to the barber, I think it's a strong thing to do to actually know what you want. And what you shouldn't do is watch Gladiator 2 and go, wow, Paul Mescal's haircut looks really good on him. I have really long hair. I'm going to get that haircut. When in reality, you don't look like Paul Mescal. And that haircut is not going to look good on you. And then the second part of what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't go to the barber and then completely explain exactly what you want and show a photo and then go on your phone for the haircut, which is what I did. Because then you look up and the shears are out, and all your hair is gone. So, that's just some life advice before we get into ball. But we've got week 0. It always starts in the homeland. Ireland rocks, man. It's the place to be. There's more beer than there are humans, and I think that is a positive indication of how humanity should be. Like, if you're in an area where you think there's more beer than there is humans, I think you're in the right spot. And the thing about the games in Ireland is it's going to be the worst weather ever. So I don't know who in charge of college football was like, you know what? These guys have been grinding all summer in really nice colleges, probably in the best weather down south, really hot. Let's send them to Narnia where they're going to play in mud. Because it ruined Kansas State's year last year. And I don't think Iowa State ended up being anything after that game. So this might just be the cursed bowl. You know what I mean? Which is classic for, you go to Ireland and you get cursed. That's just like kind of the thing about Ireland. Shout out the boys. And not Lizzie, though. Don't shout out Lizzie, though. Bastard. But, whatever it is, it's going to be a mud bowl. It's going to be gross. But week 0 does start with North Carolina taking on TCU. I'm going to take the points with North Carolina in this game with every being in my body. Do I suggest that you do that? No. For a couple reasons. One, this defense might be really, 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 really bad. However, if you'll remember from last year when I took Mississippi State's win total and when we were on Mississippi State a lot was because I believed in Blake Shapen and what Blake Shapen was before the injuries. Billy Edwards, the year that he was healthy, threw for 20-something hundred yards. A lot of touchdowns, a couple of interceptions. Against his TCU team, where, by the way, some kid in the locker room just got beat an inch from his life. Like, that's just insane, by the way. Like, how are you letting that happen if you're the teammates? But either way, that locker room feels like it's not together. And it does kind of feel like this is do or die for Bill Belichick time now. And I do believe in Billy Edwards. I do believe in this. They have a 2-pronged running back core in North Carolina. Of course, I'm not going to be able to remember it now because my memory is so bad. My memory's going, guys, okay? I don't know if it means that I'm botting. Demon Jones and Benjamin Hall at UNC. You're going to see both these guys carry the rock throughout the game. And if they can establish a run game in this weather, by the way, Billy's played in Maryland and Wisconsin. He can play in shitty weather. I'm not worried about that. I believe in Billy Edwards enough that 8.5 points right now just seems too many. I'm also going to sprinkle on the money line. I took Billy Edwards passing yards. I need to see what running back they're going to start with, to be totally honest with you. Because Demon June is first in the depth chart, but for whatever reason, Benjamin Hall has better odds. So whichever running back seems to be getting the bulk share of the carries as we get closer to Saturday when they release full depth charts and whenever it gets talked about a little bit more, I'm going to take that running back to score for UNC. But I just think this is a great game for Bill Belichick as well. Like if you're UNC, this is why you hired Bill Belichick, because you're playing in Ireland against a TCU team that just doesn't seem like they have it together right now. And you have an opportunity to go out there and go, hey guys, I finally established my culture. I finally got some guys. Here's what I look like on the college football main stage. So I also don't trust TCU at all. That quarterback room, you might as well just get LinkedIn up and moving. If you're looking at the TCU quarterback room, just go ahead, type in www.linkedin.com. All those guys are going to be selling insurance in Dallas, Texas in the next 3 to 4 years. So I don't particularly trust TCU at all. I looked at the over. In games like this where the weather's going to be shitty in Ireland, even though the over is really high, normally you go, oh, the offense, whatever. You get the Adam Gase brainer. He goes, listen, dude, when it's raining like this, I think we're going to throw the ball 40 times because the wide receivers know where they're going, but the corners don't. So there's more opportunity for them to slip. That's a real thing that an NFL coach said, by the way. So yeah, I don't trust the over, to be totally honest with you. But I do think 8.5 points, if the weather's going to be as bad as they say, is a lot of points. And I could see this being a Billy Edwards kind of like, oh, wow, he could have been really good at Wisconsin if he stayed. Either way, I'm going to be on UNC over TCU to start the day, and I feel like that's going to that's a set the tone Saturday bet. Everyone knows that when you're betting on college football on Saturdays, the first bet you place is a set the tone. If that one comes home, you're going to have a great day. If it loses in devastating fashion, go ahead, pack it up, watch the rest of the games at home. You don't need to be at the bar looking at chicks going, damn, she's bad, while every other bet loses. So moving on, San Jose State taking on USC. I'm going to take USC minus the points here, and I'm going to take Jada Maiava over 2.5 passing touchdowns. If you're Lincoln Riley and Jada Maiava right now, you need to be moving and operating like real Trojans back in the day. I'm talking hiding in horses. I'm talking conquesting, pillaging, going around town, botting, taking your pound of flesh with the swords, getting ready for war, because people are starting to doubt. And I think this should be the Lincoln Riley or Jada Maiava. There's always 1 year with the quarterback that Lincoln Riley loves where they go absolutely nuclear, and I wouldn't be shocked if this is the year for Jada Maiava. You have an excellent opportunity against San Jose to just throw 4 touchdowns of 500 yards and put the entire country on notice and take the lead in the Heisman running. And that's why he's my second sprinkle behind Dante Moore. I do think if Dante Moore doesn't win it, Jada Maiava's price is phenomenal. So in that game, I really don't have much more. It's like when you look at the props in games like this, everyone to score is going to be minus 210, minus 280, minus 370. Wayman Jordan obviously is goated, minus 280 to score a touchdown. I'm not going to click that number. It's too much. Unless you're parlaying it, in which case you could do that. I have a 2 touchdown score parlay that I'm going to give you guys at the end of this episode. But in terms of player props, I really only like Jada Maiava to throw 2 touchdowns. That just feels so unbelievably good right now. I could see him throwing 4 or 5 just because this needs to be a coming out party for Lincoln Riley. You need to put your foot down and go, listen, I know my transition to USC has not gone as planned. This is going to be the year that we put the Big Ten on notice from a West Coast school. And I like it against San Jose State. You start the year, you win 52-7. Wow, USC, you're on the map. Either way, even if it's against San Jose State. So I love USC minus the points here. I like Jada Maiava to throw more than 2.5 touchdowns more, but that would be it. Game of the weekend. NC State taking on Virginia. Bo Prabula and the Gentlemen Cavaliers of Virginia taking on the Wolfpack of NC State. NC State, you're looking at a team that pretty much lost everybody, but they kept CJ Bailey, which I think is the only real important notion in this game. I think you can comfortably take the over. I'm going to bet this game in a lot of ways because it's my favorite game on the entire slate. I'm taking NC State with the points, whatever it gets to by game day. I'm taking CJ Bailey pass yards, and I'm going to take NC State's team total over. Right now it's at 21.5. This is a Heisman caliber quarterback playing on a low-tier ACC team. So CJ Bailey is going to be able to keep this Wolfpack team in games that they have no business being in. However, this Virginia project feels like a 5-year house that's just starting to build its foundations and find its shape. And that's dangerous in the ACC because of how weak the ACC is this year. Teams year over year can take a massive jump. And I do believe in Bo Prabula. I do believe he's a good quarterback. And I do believe he's going to do good things for Virginia this year. This NC State defense is going to be really bad. This NC State offense is going to be one of the best. So I like the over for the team total of NC State. I like the over in the game. I really like NC State with the points. CJ Bailey pass yards. One of my favorite wagers. I am so high on JoJo Trader. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I tweeted it. I think this is going to be the JoJo Trader coming out year. I think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver in the country, top 5 in the ACC. And I think this is where his talent gets realized. He went to Miami. He was on Jeremiah Smith's high school team at Chaminade, went to Miami. Now it feels like he finally found his home at NC State at a school where he's going to be the bell cow. He's going to be the number 1 target. And CJ Bailey is going to abuse him in all the right ways. And he is talented enough where it is going to hurt secondaries severely. So I love JoJo Trader's yards. I have 150 on that. And I also have 150 on his touchdown. Those are just my favorite wagers in that game. I'm going to bet on the team total. I'm going to bet on NC State with the points. But JoJo Trader props, just because I feel like I have to. You get put in spots in life where you go, I got to stand a little business. And I got to take my briefcase out. I got to unbuckle them. I got to take the paperwork out. And I got to stand on a little bit of business of JoJo Trader if I'm going to really support him that heavily. And I think this is going to be the JoJo Trader year. I'm not high in Virginia's defense. I think he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. And I know CJ Bailey is good enough to get him the ball. So this is the JoJo Trader game. If he has no yards, no touchdowns, like 3 targets and no catches, go ahead and cancel me. Go ahead and cancel me if JoJo Trader does nothing good. You can go ahead and cancel me. I'll be canceled. Go ahead and cancel me. See what I care. Jacksonville State, North Dakota State. I'm not going to give you guys a play in every single game because I don't really feel confident. I tried to look into this game. I don't trust either of these teams. This is going to be a disgusting game. I don't really see myself actually betting on this game. If I was, just because it's week 0, go ahead and take the over, 46.5. That's not a lot of points for a North Dakota State team that seems to win the FCS every single fucking year. And now you play a really bad Jacksonville State team. So, do what you want in this game. I'm going to leave it open for you. This is an open reservation. You're going to a restaurant. I'm going, hey, man, you get whatever you want. Open resi, you do you. I'm going to do you do you. I'm going to do me, you do you. Any game I don't really have a play in this slate, I'm just going to click the over. Because I have a bug in my brain and it says over, points, fun. So I just have to click that button. And if you're new into getting into college football and you don't know what to do in a game and there's 2 really good teams, just go ahead and click the over. Just, if you're trying to get into football, into college football, fun, points, just click the over. And when it doesn't go over, you're going to be mad, but you're going to have learned a lot about the teams. Because either you're going to go, wow, their defense is really good, or you're going to go, wow, their offense is really bad. And then next time they play, you'll be able to go, okay, maybe I'm not going to take that over. I'm going to take the other team with the points because I learned a lot from rooting for the over. So that would be, crash course. You're betting on college football, fun, points. You take the over, and then you'll have the bug that I have in my brain that every time you look at a game that you don't know what to do, it goes, points. So, they don't call me Mikey Core for nothing. Jacksonville, North Dakota State, over. I'm just going to take it, over. I don't even care. Over, 46.5, over. Took it, over, done. Sacramento State versus Eastern Michigan. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan with the points here. Or I'm going to take, with the points. How do you say it when they're favorited? With the points is normally when they're the underdog. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan. I'm just going to take Eastern Michigan. How about that? I feel like it's Eastern Michigan with the points. That's when you're an underdog. I don't know how to say it when they're the favorite. My brain is blank right now. But I'm going to take Eastern Michigan here at -9.5. They have that Michigan State transfer, Noah Kim, who I think is going to be really good in the MAC this year. And when you look at a MAC team, there are a couple things I want you to look at. Does the defense look like they could just run through brick walls? Do they look like Max Crosby's, who they just, something's a little off and they look like they could run through a brick wall? That's a good MAC defense. Is their running back white and just a meatball of a man whose dad is just like, you're going to put your head down and run hard? That's what you're looking at Eastern Michigan. You either got the white running back whose dad was like, you put your head down, you're going to risk your life every down. Or you have the running back with dreads that's just unbelievable. That'll just put you on skates. He's just like unreal talented out of the MAC. Just put you on skates. Or you got you're going to put your head down. You're going to run that man over. That's what you're looking at with MAC running backs. Eastern Michigan's got the white kid. Just a little meatball guy that the dad was like, you're going to put your head down. You're going to run through people. Tail that with Noah Kim. You're playing Sacramento State. If you can't beat Sacramento State by double digits, you might as well go ahead and get Indeed up and moving and just go get a job somewhere else, because you shouldn't be a football team. You shouldn't be a football player. So I'm expecting this MAC defense to put it on Sacramento State, and I'm expecting Noah Kim to do whatever he wants to Sacramento State. Yeah, I'm not really worried about Sacramento State at all, to be totally honest with you. I was about to maybe just be like, hold on. But nah, Eastern Michigan for sure. Hawaii versus Stanford every single week 0, every single week 1. When there's an opportunity to take the boys from the island, you take them. I'm taking Hawaii with the points, and I'm taking Mike Alejado passing yards. I'm taking Mike Alejado rush yards. He's just my good time boy. He's like a little minion. He's a little minion that plays for the Rainbow Warriors, and he's tough as fucking nails. If you guys remember last year, week 0 when Hawaii played, he like snapped his ankle. His goddamn ankle bone touched turf, and he somehow limped out there and marched him down the field so they could win the ball game. Because of that, he's earned my ever-loving respect, and I will take Hawaii as long as he's the man behind the wheel every single time. When you get a chance to ride with the Rainbow Warriors, you just kind of have to do it. And it's one of those spots where I will be doing it, especially against the stiffs from Stanford. You know what I mean? You put some boys on the island and get some stiffs from Stanford. You're telling me you want to sit there and go, yeah, I'm going to root for the Stanford guys. You put the glasses on and put their thing on. It's like, I'm really smart. I got into Stanford. Dude, fuck you. I'm taking the guys from the island. I'm taking some dirty boys from the island to just go in there and put one on Stanford. I might sprinkle on the money line, too, to be honest with you, if I'm feeling confident. Florida State versus New Mexico State. I'm going to take Florida State with the points here, and Quintravian Wisner is my other touchdown scorer. I'm going to parlay him with JoJo Trader. He's a transfer from Texas. He's an unbelievable running back, especially with Ashton Daniels. I think it's going to be a lot of options. We're running, hey, Florida State, get ready to learn the option. Get ready to learn the RPO. Because I got news for you. That ball's either getting handed off or run by the quarterback every single goddamn down. So that's why the points does concern me a little bit. I think this Florida State defense is going to be very solid, and I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want to New Mexico State. My concern is Ashton Daniels. I don't think he's that good. I do think Auburn was a really bad situation for him, and I think it's tough when you get picked and you don't get picked and you get thrown in, then you're not thrown in, and Florida State has committed to Ashton Daniels. So I do think he has a really good opportunity to be good and to kind of like settle into a role, which I think is good. But in an offense, when you are going to run the ball, as much as I assume they're going to run the ball, it is a concern taking a really large spread because you go, they might not even put up that many points, but their defense might not allow anything. It might just be really long, elongated drives. But my favorite is Quintravian Wisner to score and Florida State minus the points. Just because if you're Florida State after last year, everyone's on the hot seat. There's not a single guy in that building or woman that's not on the hot seat. So you're coming into this year, you kind of need to establish yourself and you need to put the hurt on some really bad teams. New Mexico State is one of those teams you need to put the hurt on. Memphis versus UNLV, our Saturday nightcap. There's just something nice. And if you guys don't follow Liam Bluntman from Barstool yet, he's like one of my favorite follows on Twitter. He's such a college football guy. But he said that it's looking like both teams are going to be working out 2 quarterbacks. And there's something nice about going into a game like that and going, I'm fucking taking the over. We have a potential for 4 quarterbacks to touch the field, which should tell you every bone in your body, do not take that over. And I'm going to tell you, I'm fucking nuking that 56.5. I'm also taking UNLV money line in my parlay. I like UNLV minus the points as well. I think Alex Origi and I believe it's Jackson Arnold. You guys are watching how the sausage is made right now. I got news for you. No producer. I'm doing all this shit by myself. Yeah, Jackson Arnold, I was right. I just believe Jackson Arnold and Alex Origi are better quarterbacks. So I do think UNLV's team total is totally in play here as well. And I think those 2 are going to be able to come out, and I think both of them are going to be able to score at will against this Memphis team. So I mean, the over is high for a reason, though. So this is one of those where Vegas knows you want to take the over, and they know it's going to be a high-scoring game. So either we're going to get hooked or it's going to soar over. But I'll tell you what, though, dude. I don't know why you wouldn't just go with Aaron Noland. Why wouldn't you just go with Aaron Noland if you're Memphis? If I'm a Memphis Tiger fan, I'm sitting there going, put Aaron Noland in. Give a fuck about Marcus Stokes. Give me Aaron Noland and let him just throw that bitch around the park. But that's where I'd be at that one. But I think Aaron Noland's going to be able to put up points. I just love this over. This is one of my favorite overs on the entire board. 56.5, I believe, right now, time of filming. So it's up to you if you love that number or if you hate that number, but a nightcap over while you're at the bar. Actually, you know what? Close your eyes for me. Let's do it. Let's do a little, let's do an exercise here. Close your eyes. You're at the bar. Mike Alejado has led a legendary comeback to beat Stanford. The offensive line is hoisting our little minion over their shoulders. And they're going, yeah, yeah, yeah. You've had about 3,000 beers. It's been an unbelievable Saturday. Football is back. You've watched touchdowns. You've watched overs. You've even seen some unders. That's not good. The girl you love is across the bar. You haven't said a word to her in 6 hours. You walked in, you said, wow, it's my wife, and you haven't talked to her a moment. A cold hand touches your shoulder. You look over. It's your buddy. He goes, yo, just got a brand new bucket. Your brain explodes. It's beautiful. You've now reached a euphoric level of Saturday college football betting. You turn back to the TV. Mike Alejado no longer getting hoisted. Memphis UNLV is kicked off. You look around at your buddies. Everyone goes, yo, what's our play in this game? You're smart. You're ahead of the curve. You go, points, points, points. Fun, fun, fun. Fill my holes with points. Over. Everyone's already had too many beers to even argue. They immediately tail. You're now sitting here, 10 p.m. nightcap, cheering your ass off. Points, 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 points. You're seeing Jackson Arnold, Alex Origi. You're seeing Air Noland. And you're sitting there going, I wouldn't want to be rooting for points with anybody else, anywhere else, with a gazillion beers. And now tell me you want to take anything else in that game. I dare you. But unfortunately, guys, that's our first week 0 Saturday of college football. Episode in the books. I couldn't be more stoked. Let's have a great college football season, guys. We haven't done a lot of these, so I guess I'll end with a little Mikey Core. This year has been absurdly challenging for me. I feel like I've always been really open with you guys. I like to try to be. I've definitely tried to take a step back from doing that this year, but I think in our week 0, college football is here. I'll put it all out there. This has been an impossibly hard year for me. I've battled some pretty serious depression. In therapy again now, so everything's going good. Had a little bit of a mental breakdown earlier in the year. That was a really interesting experience that at some point I would like to speak on, and just to be able to help anyone else out that might go through that experience or be going through that experience. And I think the thing that has been my North Star throughout this year is to just keep going. And I know we talk about taking that step forward, and I was put in a position this year where it just felt like every time I tried to get up off the mat, I got punched. And bar none, this has been the most difficult and the most challenging year in my entire life. I can, without fail, put that on a poster board and say this has been the hardest year of my life. And there's been really, really dark moments. And I think the thing that has kept me going is to just keep going, is to just keep waking up, is to just keep taking a step forward and to just attempt. And listen, there have been days this year where it just feels like there's a cloud above me. It just feels like you're all alone. You got no one with you. You got no one for you. You got no one that's going to be there for you. You feel so solitarily alone, which is why I think depression is so tough. It's not that things are going wrong. You just feel like there is no one there for you. And you feel like you're battling everything on your own. And you almost go out of your way to make it more difficult for people to help you. You almost make it more difficult for yourself because you go, I don't even need anybody else. And I think that's the dark part of depression, that it's almost like a black hole, right? It just engulfs in itself. And you're caught in this negative feedback loop. And my whole thing has just been keep going. Keep going. No matter how hard the week, no matter how hard the month, my dad's quote always rings in my ear, no one ever went broke working too hard. And I think it's just like focusing on the work, focusing on myself, and just keep going every single day. And eventually, I know I'll come out of it. I know I'm nowhere near out of it right now, to be totally honest with you guys. Every day feels like another battle with demons, and it's just been really difficult. I don't know it's just been a very difficult year. And I think that's okay. And there are going to be years and months and weeks and days like that in everyone's life. And I'm just happy to go through it right now. I've tried to keep a positive attitude. Sometimes it's a little difficult. But I think my thing is to just keep going. I just refuse to give up. And I think if you're going through a tough time, if you're going through a tough year, tough month, tough week, tough day, just do not give up. Keep the strength for you and show yourself strength in keeping going. And I think a lot of times in life, I've based my value on how the work is going, how people view me, And I think this year has been a really drastic change of trying to figure out how do you value yourself with just yourself, talking to yourself. And I think a lot of it is just showing strength for yourself. You wake up, it feels like a really hard day. You don't want to do anything. But if you get up and you go for that walk, you do that workout, you do your breakfast, you go to work, you're showing yourself strength and you're proving to yourself and to your brain that you can get through it. And a lot of the time, it's a battle with the mind. And I think talking positively is such an awesome thing that I've been trying to do lately. It's very difficult, but it's because you're your own worst critic. But then you realize you spend the most time with yourself and your brain cuts pathways. And the more things you ruminate on, the deeper that pathway gets, and your brain gets used to go down that pathways. So I think just positive talk and show yourself strength, And I think we used to talk about, be your hero. No one's going to come save you. And I think that's such a drastic way to look at things. But, be the strongest version of yourself for yourself and be there for you. I know how difficult it can be, so just keep going. I'm really looking forward to this football season, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for the people that watch these episodes and consume my content. It means the world to me. Because who knows if I'll be doing content my entire life? Who knows this time next year if I'll be doing content, So it's been a really fun ride. And I just want to thank all of you guys for being on it so far. And let's have a great football season. Let's win some wagers. Let's drink some beers. Let's have some fun with some buddies. And like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. I love you guys. And we'll see you here every single Saturday. Thanks, guys.